Good day, guys. My name is Dr. ICC, and you are welcome to another episode of ICC Math Tutorials. Today, we are going to be treating indices. Indices, or the index of a number, tells us how many times the base number has to be multiplied by itself. If you have something like this, 2 raised to the power of 5. This 5 is the index, while this 2 is the base number. The index of this base number tells us how many times that base number has to be multiplied by itself. What is the base number? 2, and 5 is the index. This 5 is telling us that 2 will multiply itself 5 times. If here was 3, this 3 will tell us how many times this base number 2 has to be multiplied by itself. That means 2 will multiply itself 3 times. But since here is 5, this 5 tells us how many times the 2 will multiply itself. 2 raised to the power of 5 will be equal to 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That's 5 times. Now that's what indices is all about. Indices, there's a difference between indices and index. The difference is that index is singular, while indices is plural. If the powers are more than 1, you refer to them as indices. But if it is just 1, you refer to it as what? As index. That's what index is all about. The indices of a number tells us how many times the base number has to be multiplied by itself. And there are laws of indices. Without you knowing this law, you will not be able to solve questions relating to indices. Let's quickly treat the laws of indices. Laws of indices. The first law is the multiplication law. And it says that anytime you are multiplying indices of a number of the same base, pick one of the base number and what? And add the indices. This is what we mean. Let's assume you have 2 raised to the power of 3 times 2 raised to the power of 2. Now, in this case, you are multiplying indices. These are indices, right? 3 and 2. Indices of a number of the same base. What is base number here? 2, and the base number is also what? 2. Since you are multiplying indices of numbers of the same base, what do? You pick one of the base number. What is the base number here? 2, and the base number is what? Is 2. You pick one of the base number and add the indices. What are the indices? 3 and what? And 2. We are going to have, we pick one of them and add them. So now we got 3 plus 2. 3 plus 2 give us what? 5. You are going to have 2 raised to the power of 5. That's what this law is all about. Whereby if you have something like this, 2 raised to the power of minus 1 times 2 raised to the power of 4. What do? You are multiplying indices of the same number. Indices of what? Of the same number. What do? You pick one of the base number and add the indices. The index here is what? Minus 1. And the index here is what? Is 4. What do? You add them together. You are going to have 2 raised to the power of minus 1 plus 4, which will give us what? 2 raised to the power of 4. Minus 1 plus 4 will give us what? 3. That will give us what? The answer. What about if you have something like this? Let's say 4 raised to the power of 2, or 4 raised to the power of 3 times 4 raised to the power of minus 2. You can see that you are still multiplying indices of the same number, of the same base number. Now what do? You pick one of the base number and what? and add the indices. You are going to have 4, okay, raised to the power of 3 plus minus 2. Plus times minus will give us what? Minus. We are going to have 3 raised to the power of 4 plus times minus will give us minus. We are going to have 3 minus 2. And, okay, sorry, it's 4. 3 minus 2. 3 minus 2 will give us what? 1. We are going to have 4 raised to the power of what? 1. 4 raised to the power 1 is will still give us what? 4. That will give us what? The answer. That's all about the multiplication law of indices. Another law is the division law of indices, the second law, which is the division law. And the division law of indices says that anytime you are dividing indices of the same base, you pick one of the base number and subtract the indices. We are going to have, if you have something like this, 6 raised to the power of 5 divided by 6 raised to the power of minus 3. Now, you can see that you are dividing indices of the same base. What do? You pick one of the base number and subtract the indices. Now, you are going to have, you pick one of the base number. What the base number is 6, and the base number is 6. You pick one of them. 6 raised to the power of 5. Now, this is the index here, and this is the indices. This is the index here. What do? You subtract them. You are going to have minus, what the index here, minus 3. So now because what? You put that minus in bracket, minus 3. Minus times minus will give us what? Plus. We are going to have 6 raised to the power of 5 plus 3. 5 plus 3 will give us what? And we are going to have 6 raised to the power of what? Of 8. That will give us what? The answer. Whatever if you have something like this, 2 raised to the power of minus 4 all over 2 raised to the power of 2 raised to the power of 3 of 2 raised to the power of 3. Now, this all over also signifies division, and you are dividing indices of the same base. The base number here is 2, and the base number here is also what? It's also 2. What do? You pick one of them and subtract the powers. You are going to have, pick one of the base number. What's the base number here? 2, and the base number here is also what? 2. So that means 2 raised to the power of minus 4. Okay, the index here is what? Is 3. You also subtract it minus what? 3. We are going to have 2 raised to the power of what? Minus 4 minus 3 will give us what? Minus 7. That will give us what? The answer. That's all about the division law of indices. Another law we will also be taking into consideration will be the negative law of indices. The negative law of indices, which is the third law. The negative law of indices. Now, this law, let's say for example, you have 2 raised to the power of minus 3. The law says that immediately you introduce 1 all over, the negative sign will be eliminated. You can say that the index is negative, which is what? Minus 3. It is this minus that makes it negative. Immediately you introduce 1 all over, the negative sign will be eliminated. We are going to have, immediately you introduce 1 all over, what will happen? This negative sign will be eliminated. You are going to have 1 all over here, 2 raised to the power of what? Of 3. No need to put the negative sign. That's what the negative law of indices says. Whereby if you have something like this, 4 raised to the power of minus 5. You are going, if immediately you introduce 1 all over, what will happen to the negative sign to be what? Eliminated. So now become 1 all over 4 raised to the power of